issue. Zuhdi, Jasser, come into this, please. You are an American citizen. You served in the U.S. Navy for 11 years. You're a physician. And I'm going to pick up on one thing that Prime Minister Netanyahu said. He said, referring to the proposed deal with Iran on nuclear weapons, he said, it's a bad deal, a very bad deal. We are better off without it. As a Muslim, do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And Stuart, I can't tell you how gratifying, how validating it is to hear finally somebody begin to fill in the vacuum of leadership in the world. Somebody call out Iran for the evil that it is, call out militant Islam for what it is, and say that Christians, Jews, Muslims who believe in freedom never again will allow fascism in the name of anything, let alone my faith of Islam, guide us and lead us into disaster. He laid out the details. In his speech, he allowed the American people now to finally understand, A, what's at stake, and B, what's happening by our basically cozying up in an appeasement manner to the evil of Iran as they just in the last week continue to thump their chests against us and threaten Israel. And I think he's beginning to fill that vacuum. He went so far, Stuart, in beginning to educate all Americans about the reality of the threat, which unfortunately has not been coming from the White House.
I know you watched the speech from beginning to end. Do you think that it did undermine the support for President Obama in his dealings with Iran? Did it undermine the president?
Well, as I was just said, what do you mean by undermine? I, as an American citizen, as somebody who wants to protect freedom and liberty and reject the threat of the genocidal governments like Iran, I don't want to see us come to a deal with them and somehow that gives them 10 years to walk away, that allows them to have 19,000 or however many, 190,000 centrifuges and others. I mean, this is absurd. So that is not a deal that I think the American people want, if those are the details. And the bottom line is that that is not the way to peace. We heard from Prime Minister Netanyahu the threat of Iran, and that we come to peace through strength, not through weakness and appeasement. So that's not a deal I think that I'd be afraid to undermine.
Zuhdi, thank you very much.